Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we're back, man. We're talking about tonight's episode of The Walking Dead, man. It's called Claimed. If you didn't get the opportunity to watch the episode, stop listening now. Major spoilers. Here we go. We're going to talk about Abraham, Eugene, and Rosita. First off, man, tonight's episode was solid for them. It didn't really do them justice as far as showing you anything besides Abraham Ford as far as his character's development. They showed you that they work pretty well together as a unit, but the unit is led by Abraham, and it's pretty much what he says goes. What he says is the law. If it's not his rules, he'll kill you. Period. Like he'll bash your brains in for no reason. They're driving 300 miles, man, away from Maggie and Rick and Michonne and Carl and Tyrese and Carol, and I think they're 300 miles away from Terminus, to be honest, man. And their whole entire goal is to get to Washington. They're bringing Eugene to Washington. Eugene wants to go to Washington. Eugene needs to go to Washington. Abraham Ford, his sole purpose is to get Eugene to Washington. Rosita, let's talk about her for a second, because there's really not that much to talk about her, and it's kind of disappointing. She only got 2 lines tonight. Is this yours? And what else are we going to do? That's it. That's all she had tonight. Obviously, those words are a little bit more kid-friendly. She said some other things, some choice words that I'm not going to speak here, but that's all she had. She didn't really get to do anything tonight. Eugene got to do a couple things. That was him firing off a gun. Eugene is pretty much like the same scientist that the governor had. Exact same, except the only difference is he's willing to shoot a gun. He's willing to protect himself. And other than that, he's just a weirdo, man. He has a mullet for a haircut for some reason. We're back in 1980 for some reason. And I mean, I'm fine with that, but it's just weird, man. I don't trust him. He looks strange. He acts strange. He doesn't really say anything. And it's just, I don't know. It's just weird. And I can't even describe it more than that, you know? It's like he's hiding something, man. And then when you ask him, okay, what's going on with Washington? What's going on with the zombie apocalypse? Why Washington? What's the purpose of this? It's classified. Okay, why are we driving 300 miles? It's classified. Okay, why are you, Abraham, Eugene, and Rosita together? It's classified. Every single thing about this entire group is classified, I guess, until the next week's episode. I mean, I'm fine with that. But come on, man, let's get to it, okay? Once again, man, Abraham Ford, his whole sole purpose, man, is saving the world, man. He's bent on saving the world, man. He feels like he has purpose inside of this new world of his, this new life, this new zombie apocalypse, this post-apocalyptic world, whatever you want to call it. His whole sole purpose is saving the world, man. His other passion is Rosita, man. And that's kind of cool. They did touch on that. Yes, they are an item, boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, whatever you want to call it. That was one of the questions I had for tonight, man, is are Abraham and Rosita an item? And the answer is yes, man. They didn't say that themselves, but Tara, she said that for some reason. I guess they drove 300 miles together. I don't know when they had an opportunity to talk about this stuff, but for some reason, Tara, she knew, and she said, we understand that Rosita, man, she loves you and would follow you anywhere in the world. I don't know how she knows that. Once again, Tara was in the back of the truck with Glenn as he was asleep unconsciously. And for some reason, she knew that. But hey, that's fine with me. At least Tara got some words in. They just need to do seriously, they need to do better job, man, with their female characters. That's all I'm going to say about that. Moving on. Does Eugene have a secret, or does he know information about what happened? Yes, that is true. He does know what happened to this post-apocalyptic zombie apocalypse, whatever you want to call it. He knows, and he's a scientist. That's true. They did that, and that's comic book source, and I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that one, man. That's really good. Let me see. That is pretty much it. Eugene, he shot up the 5-ton that was carrying Glenn. And the reason why he shot up the 5-ton is because Glenn and Abraham got into a fight because Glenn wanted to go back 300 miles to go back to Maggie, his wife, and Abraham Ford was trying to convince Glenn that his wife is dead, that he doesn't need to worry about that anymore. His new passion in life needs to be saving the world and getting to Washington. Yeah, so right now, man, the truck is broken. The 5-ton is broken. Abraham, Eugene, Rosita, Glenn, and Tara are heading back 300 miles. They drove for 300 miles for pretty much no reason, just to get into a firefight with the Walkers of Corn. That's a nod to Children of the Corn. And they shot the walkers that were coming out the cornfield, and now they're walking back 300 miles to safety, or to find to find out if those their people are safe, man, or if Maggie is still alive. That is pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go ahead and include inside of this podcast the ending, and then we'll talk about next week's episode. So here we go. The ending was awesome, man. Let me just say this, man. It says, Michonne, man, she says, "What do you think?" And this is Rick, Michonne, and Carl. They're looking at the sign for Terminus, and that says sanctuary for all, community for all, those who arrive survive. And then Rick responds, "Let's go, let's go." Boom, that's the end. And then we get a peek into next week, man, and next week deals with, finally deals with, again, we get to see Daryl and Beth, and it looks like they're in some serious trouble, man. It doesn't look good. I just want to go ahead and be honest with that and say that it looks pretty bad. I'm gonna go ahead and guess death. I don't know who, man. I'm pretty sure they're not gonna kill Daryl, man. I think that's a bad move, man, by AMC. So I'm not gonna say that, but I would say if they're gonna kill anybody, it'd be Beth. And the reason why they killed Beth is because. And I'm kind of against that because her character is actually good now. You know, she's really positive. She doesn't sing. I haven't heard her sing anything, and that's a great thing. But we could lose Beth. We could lose Beth. Let's just be honest. We could lose Beth, man. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, I'm out of here, man. Thanks again for listening. This podcast was just a little bit different. It was a little confusing and all over the place, and that's because tonight's episode was just. It was just so emotional, man, as far as just the horror aspect of it. But it didn't really give us a lot, man. So that's kind of why it was all over the place, and I kind of broke it up in those sections. Let me know what you thought about tonight's episode. Are you excited about the release of the Walking Dead action figures that come out tomorrow, February 24th, 2014? Go on Amazon.com. You can get the action figures. They're relatively cheap, man, like between $13 and $15. Go out and pick them up, man. I think we're on series number 5, I believe. And if not, just look in the description box. All that stuff is going to be there. That should be it, man. Once again, man, bravo to AMC, man, for continuing on with a great episode. It was different, but I do appreciate it, man, because there was a lot of comic book source stuff in there. And I'm a fan of The Walking Dead regardless, man. Hopefully, in the future, I want to see Sasha. I want to see Ben. I want to see Tyrese. I want to see Carol. I want to see Lizzie. I want to see Micah. I want to see baby Judith. I want to see Michonne, Carl, and Rick all reunited, man. We're out of here.